So first of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me to this conference. That's actually a third time that I have been participating in such international conferences organized by the Republic of Moldova, and I would like once again to thank you for this invitation. So the topic of my presentation would be the peach.
Della pianta, quindi gestione culturale e
So actually I will speak about the different type of apricots. First of all, I would like to speak about the research center that I'm representing. This is in Emilia-Romagna. You can see it in the left side in the northern part of Italy, and you can see the location of that research center. So this is the center that I'm working, and that's like a node, a connection point, like intermediary between the researchers and the producers. So we try to provide a lot of advice to the producers, to the traders, as well as those who are engaging in this type of research, as well as implementing them on the field and doing all the piloting and testing. So we have a lot of representatives from private researchers as well as private labs, depending on the requirements that we set forward for them. So members of the center, CRPV center. So first of all, we are working with different producers. They're mainly located in the northern part of Italy, but actually we try to cover the entire territory of Italy, including the southern part. So we're working on developing different varieties, earlier varieties compared with the northern varieties. Once again, depends on the wish of the Producers Association, Farmers Association, business associations. Also, we try to provide support and advice to the local government, who are also members of our CRPV center, as well as private entrepreneurs. In total, so we provide approximately 60% of the total harvest, which is produced in the Emilia-Romagna region. However, the most important regions for us is our location, which are the most important farmers and the key farmers in the horticulture and the fruit growing. Now, speaking about the genetic improvement as well as developing of some new varieties, so we do the following. So we engaged in horticulture as well as in herbaceous crops, as well as fruit bearing is our industry. Also, we manage the fruit trees, and we try to cover all the aspects related to plant protection, tree protection, and pest control. Another issue is ensuring the ecological sustainability at local level. Another very important pillar that we focus on is organic agriculture, organic farming, as well as developing some special field with agro, organic, as well as ecological fields. Now, let me go into some details. And in my presentation, I will speak about the management, about how we can manage the orchards. In particular, I will speak about the peach orchard. So in this regard, we are conducting a series of activities relating to mechanical management, mechanical advice support to the crop growing, and the purpose would be to reduce the costs related to the growth and production of such kind of fruit. I would like to share a couple of experience and practices related to plant protection as well as netting and covering the orchards in order to ensure protection against hail. So this is not only anti-hail protection, but this also we try to introduce some new systems. And the purpose is to ensure anti-hail protection as well as protection against any type of pests, diseases, as well as meteorological support. So we would like to protect our fruit from different kind of natural calamities, cracking, and pest. Second issue that I would like to speak about is about the new type of agriculture, which includes two important issues. First of all, I would like to speak about water management as well as fertilizer control, as well as managing the fruit bearing. What do I mean by this? So here we would like to speak about the quality insurance. In order to have a better quality of fruit and production, we have to introduce some new technologies. So mechanical management. So this is the first issue that we would decide. So this is about the thinning of the buds and of the flowers and the sprouts, as well as the mechanical type of thinning. So this is a new practice. We are now developing that new technology, and we have a couple of companies that are using these technologies for several years in a row. However, for example, if you take the apricot or the peach, it has to be to follow the apple, because initially this technology was used for the apple trees in the northern parts of our orchards, and then we switched to using it on the apricot and peach. So this is a mechanical thinning of the trees done with a special tractor, which you can see it on the right. So that's a special instrument, a mobile instrument that would do the thinning and cutting. And the purpose, as well as the goal and the results are a bit different. You can see initially, so that was the type of X as vertical wall, and you can see the blades that are positioned, and this is on the left side of the screen. But gradually, year by year, so some new technologies appeared, and now we have the horizontal or the oblique type. It can be adjusted to different type of vegetation as well as to different type of orchards. So it's a very flexible and adjustable technology. So that's the only equipment that can be used, and you can see and compare so the results before and after the use of that mechanical equipment. And you can see the buds and the flowers that fall, and this is a very early thinning that we conduct. I would like to show you a couple of results from this technology. Mechanical thinning is very quick in terms of speed and velocity compared with the manual one. So it has to be done on the bottom part of the tree. It shouldn't be longer than 2 hours on 1 hectare. However, it has to be adjusted also manually. So the flowers are thinned manually and then followed by a mechanical one, or vice versa. It can be like an integrated cross between the manual as well as the mechanical. So the final would be the manual one after the mechanical thinning. So thereby, we managed to save 50% of the labor force compared with the manual thinning. So that's the advantage. But the most important, the key advantage is the quality. So the quality of the fruit is the benefit from this. And I would like to say that our production can be seen on that graph, and it's clear that you can have better results, and the size, the grading, and the quality of the fruit is much better. Because the purpose would be to have a better size and caliber of the fruit. But another very important result that we would like to achieve is to reduce the smaller fruit. In such a way, giving the possibility to exclude the fruit that is of a smaller size or of a lower quality. Because eventually the final consumers would not buy such kind of product, such kind of fruit. So that's another example. And you can see how this is being done for the peach. So to the right, you can see a comparison between the situation before the thinning and after the thinning. And you can see what is the size of the fruit, with and without. So in the first situation, we have 23 millimeters. And on the right, you can see already the fruit that has already been thinned, having less flowers and less fruit on the branch. And you can see the example of 30 millimeters. So this is the size that we would like to accomplish. It's much bigger. So the picture was taken in the same period of time. So we have a comparison between the traditional, conventional, as well as the mechanical thinning. Another advantage for the mechanical thinning for the tree is the mechanical cutting and the mechanical pruning or trimming. So you can see some of the bars, vertical bars on this equipment, on this machine to the right. It's built in form of a wall, as well as having some blades horizontally, which is located on the top part of the tree. So this is a mechanical pruning, and this mechanical pruning can be done after the harvesting. It's like a post-harvesting pruning. On the one side, we're able to save time compared with the manual thinning and cutting or pruning, but also physiologically speaking, these trees would have a better lightning, would also have a better lightning in the bottom part of the tree, as well as the ripening and the maturity of the buds of the sprouts would be better, and that can be also preserved for the next year, and the yield would be better for the next year. Now, I would like to show a couple of protection systems, some of the nettings that we use against hail. So we are now shifting from the classical system of anti-hail, because initially that was used only against hail. But now, in the present situation, we have a new trend. So we have an integrated coverage system and having different purposes to be accomplished as a result of this integrated system. So first of all, this is a new type of protection system to the right, once again against different type of pests. It can be used as a pest control because one of the most important diseases affecting the fruit is the asiatic fly, which causes a lot of problems for the orchards. So that's the first. And the second advantage of this coverage with a net is to prevent or protect against very intensive precipitation and hail that might also create a lot of problems and influence the quality of the fruit as a result of the precipitation and moisture. Because we speak about cherries, so there can be a cracking. For example, if you have an intense rain, so that might also affect the peach during the pre-harvest period. And as a result of that, the size of the fruit might grow, might be bigger, but also might cause some problems related to fruit resistance, or actually the validity and the shelf life of that particular fruit might also be impaired. So when we look at this protection system, so we have a lot of benefits, and all these issues and all these causes shall be taken into account when we develop this protection system. So all these issues have to be kept under control and solutions be found in such a way that would be able to ensure pest control, damage control, as well as anti-hail control. Another innovation, which is now in the process of developing and researching. It is not yet being applied in practice, but nevertheless, some of the farmers from Italy have already started applying this technology. So they've taken it on board and applied them in their practice, in their farming practice. So this is the foil, which you can see on the bottom part between the rows of the trees, and it has to be applied 2 or 3 weeks before the harvesting of the fruit. And the purpose of this would be to increase the light shine, the light coming on the bottom part of the vegetation foliage, in particular coming to the root system, because here we have like an orchard which has a height of about 4 to 5 meters, and which is in the process of developing, growing, and a lot of analysis is being done to use that particular foil upon the harvesting. So this is considered like an intelligent and smart technology, and these technologies allow us to control step by step both in terms of vegetation, as well as ripening of the sprout, as well as of the fruit. We're able to monitor the caliber, the size, and also on the bottom part, right bottom, you can see another type of equipment that is being used to check the quality of the fruit. So we can see the exact time so when the fruit has to be harvested. Also, some other equipment allows us to see whether the fruit is ripened, whether it can be harvested. And these are some kind of tools and instruments that are in the process of developing, but so many Italian companies are already applying them in their farming, in their ordinary farming experience. Another example that I would like to provide, peach and nectarines. So we will mainly focus on simple plain nectarines and not the flat ones. So that's the ordinary. So this is an advice about the varieties of peach that can be recommended for Moldova, for your areas. And you can see all the varieties of nectarines with the yellow flesh. And if we speak about the maturity and the ripening from mid of June, and then we can cover the entire period until mid of September. So thereby we might say that the harvesting would last for approximately 3 months. And all of these are sweet nectarines with low acidity, as well as a very good Brix ranking. Also, they would be in flower a bit at a later stage, and you can see the color. It is very good for the Moldovan areas, for your areas, and all these varieties that you can see on the screen, like Ribus, Karen, and others, would ensure very good size and color and the pulp and the flesh. The same can be said about the yellow apricot or peach, which has the same period of maturity. The flowering is done at a very early stage. Most likely, so maybe this apricot might not be suitable for Moldova because it ripens too quick. However, if you look on the another type of nectarine with the white flesh, we don't have so many varieties of this white flesh nectarine because the white flesh of the peach has a certain niche on the market, which is not so well defined. So now we're working on the genetic improvement and genetic development of that type of nectarine. So thereby, we have less varieties of nectarine that can be accepted by the farmers and be grown by the farmers. So in the previous conferences that I attended, and also delivering my presentation, previously I was asked to speak about flat peach and nectarine. So that's a type of peach. So we have 5 minutes only until the end of the presentation. Only a couple of words about that type and variety. So we're talking about the flat nectarine and peach in cooperation with the organization committee of the Moldova Fruit National Conference. So we have tried to promote this type of fruit in the Republic of Moldova. And this project would start in 2021. So there will be 10 varieties selected for that particular purpose on these demo lots. As I have said a bit earlier, so these kind of varieties will be tested in the Republic of Moldova, and you saw these varieties on the previous slides. They will be tested on 2 areas in the Republic of Moldova in order to see how they can adjust to the climate conditions of Moldova in different areas and to see what is the quality of the fruit and the result that can be accomplished in terms of the yield, in terms of the quality of the fruit in Moldova. Now we're trying to identify the farmers. I don't believe it would be difficult to identify the farmers in such a way that the farmers be eager to test such kind of fruit. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you.